Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and mute everybody, and then we are going to go ahead and start. Sandy, maybe well. Oh, that's hilarious, Sandy. Okay, so for today, we need 2 blocks and a blanket. And when I mentioned earlier that we are going to work on the more esoteric elements of the spine, specifically, we're going to work on this aspect of digestion. So there are twists, as Steve asked about, but we're also thinking about like how do we mentally digest things? How do we allow ourselves to ground, to settle enough so that we can actually process what's going on in our lives so that we can either use that food for nurturance or discard what we no longer need. And this practice is a para yoga based practice. So we're going to spend a lot of time focusing more on the energetics, the subtle body. We are going to move our actual body, but we're going to try to see what is happening beneath the surface. And the reason for it today is I think a lot of times, in order for us to be effective in whatever we're trying to do, we kind of have to have a clear mind. I think that every single one of you is incredibly intelligent and you know how to solve any type of problem presented to you. However, you first have to understand what the problem is. And sometimes what we need first is a bit of space. So we're going to create space and length in the spine so that we can digest things and hopefully have a little bit of space. Okay, so that very clearly articulated thing. We're going to start by sitting first. So I want you to sit on a block, on a blanket. If you have a meditation cushion, anything that you want to sit on, I want you to sit. And we're going to spend about the first 5 minutes seated. So I really want you to be comfortable however you're sitting. So first thing, you might remove some flesh from underneath your sit bones so that your sit bones are wide. The second thing you might do is just plant your hands wherever feels comfortable on your thighs and maybe roll the shoulders, maybe circle the neck, any of those things. Good morning, Julie. And then once you feel like you've got the physical stuff sort of sorted, I want you to go ahead and soften the gaze or close your eyes. And now beginning to become more internal, bring your awareness to your pelvis and really make sure it feels firm and it feels wide and it feels stable. And then you'll stack your vertebra right on top of each other. So there will be a little bit of a curve in the lumbar spine coming forward. And then you might feel a little bit of the cervical spine. You might feel the thoracic spine. Just let each part of the spine have its curves. Notice if you can bring your awareness to your chin and have it hovering right above your sternum. And then your ears right above your shoulders, shoulders above your hips. Great. And then we'll just start to bring our awareness to our breath, and you'll just take a big breath in through the nose and an audible breath out through the mouth. And you'll do 2 more just like that. Big breath in, big breath out, big breath in, and big breath out. Close your lips and bring your awareness to the tip of your nostrils and just start to trace the breath in. So it'll go in the nostrils, up the walls of the nostrils, maybe towards your third eye. And then as you exhale, it goes back down. So as you inhale, you draw the breath up the nostrils, up the walls of the nose, up to the center of the forehead. And then exhale, just allow it to retrace its path. Now you'll do this about 3 more times on your own, and you'll start to notice that as you draw the breath in, you might start feeling some tingling. And as you draw the breath out, you might also feel the tingling. Now, we'll keep that initiation. So you're still going to draw the breath in through the nose, but now I want your awareness to travel the whole length of your spine. So you'll draw the breath in, the breath will come up to the crown of your head, and then see if you can draw it as far down towards your pelvis as possible. And then when you exhale, the breath will come from the base of the spine all the way back up. So you inhale, you draw the breath in, up, and then down. And then you exhale and you draw the breath up and then out. And you'll take 5 more breaths just like this. We're starting to tap into what's called apana vayu. So that's the breath that's going downwards. And then udana vayu, which is the breath that's coming up. And as you continue to breathe, we're starting to channel the breath along what's called our shushumna nadi. It's the central energy point in our body. It roughly mirrors our spine. And then at the end of your next exhalation, you'll just let the breath come out or up and out. And then I want you to just take a little sway right to left to see if you can start to feel that energy center in the body. And it's very subtle, it's very small. It might be less than 2 inches. You're just trying to feel that energetic channel in the body, and then you'll go ahead and come to stillness once you've found it. So this will be our central point for the remainder of our class. Every time you breathe in, you will be invited to draw the breath into the chest, into the ribs, down to the belly. And then every time you exhale, you'll just draw the breath from the belly up. That's an add-on. You can play with it or not, but that's our central focus. So we'll gently lower our gaze towards the floor or head towards the floor. Allow the eyes to float open. And then you're going to come to stand very slowly at the top of your space. When you find yourself at the top of your space, I encourage you to put both of your blocks at the top of your space on their highest setting. Great. Fantastic. And then come to stand at the top of the space. Separate the feet about hip distance apart. Allow your arms to just dangle at your sides and feel the spreading of your feet into the floor. Feel the rooting of your pelvis into your legs, into your feet, into the floor. Notice that length of the spine. Notice the softness of the shoulder blades down the back and the extension up through the head. Now, once again, we're going to breathe in through the chest, into the ribs, into the belly, and then exhaling, drawing the breath from the pelvis back up. You will keep that, and then as you inhale, start to sweep your arms up and overhead, and exhale, lower the arms back down. You've got 2 more of these. As you inhale, the breath goes down, the arms go out and up. As you exhale, the breath comes up and the arms go down. 1 more on your own. Last one. Inhale, long, deep breath. And exhale, arm goes down. Let's move on. The next time you inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead. Breath goes down, arms go up. As you exhale, fold forward at your hips, Uttanasana, forward fold, hands to floor or blocks. Great. Inhale, halfway lift here. And exhale, fold in. Inhale, root to rise, come to stand, Urdhva Hastasana. And exhale, hands alongside your hips. You will repeat that 2 more times. Inhale, your arms sweep out and up, the breath goes down. As you exhale, you fold forward, the breath comes up the spine. Inhale, the breath goes down the spine, the heart reaches forward, halfway lift. Exhale, the breath comes up the spine, you fold in. Inhale, root to rise, the breath goes down the spine, you come up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, the arms go down, the breath comes up. 1 more time on your own. Inhale, the arms go out, the breath goes down. Exhale, fold forward at your hips, the breath comes up, the spine goes down. Inhale, the heart comes forward, the breath goes down. Exhale, the breath comes up, the spine goes down. Inhale, the spine comes up, the breath goes down. And exhale, the breath goes up, the arms come down. Great. Let's add on. Inhale, circle, sweep your arms up and overhead. Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, fold forward at your hips. Uttanasana. Stay with your long, steady breaths. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, bend your knees, plant your palms, step your right foot back, step your left foot back, plank pose. 3 breaths. Inhale, the breath goes down towards the pelvis. Exhale, the breath comes up towards the crown. Inhale, breath goes down towards pelvis. Exhale, breath comes up. Last time, inhale, breath goes down. And exhale, breath comes up. Next in-breath, shift your weight forward, slower than you want to. Exhale, lower all the way down to the floor. Nice job. Once you touch, extend the tops of the feet to the floor. Press down into your hands right alongside your rib cage. Inhale, pull your heart and sternum forward and through. And exhale, stay here for 3 breaths. And again, you'll focus on seeing just if you can find a little bit more engagement of the shoulder blades onto the back body, pressing your toenails down into the floor, broadening across the fronts of your collarbones as you, there you go, Roberta, reach your neck out of your spine. Nice work. Exhale, lower all the way down. Inhale, come to hands and knees. Exhale, back to child's pose, 3 breaths. And you just take a couple of breath cycles here, noticing what you notice. How does it feel to really just allow your chest to rest, the hips root to the heels, the arms might reach forward, maybe not. On your next inhalation, come forward to hands and knees. And then exhale, curl the toes, downward facing dog, 3 breaths. And then your first down dog, just feel what it feels like to press the L shape of your hands forward, to lift your outer hips up and slide your inner thighs back, and really to root the heels down towards the floor. You've got 2 more breath cycles here, and you just notice what you notice. At the end of your next exhalation, gently bend the knees, walk your feet towards your hands. Once you get to the top of your space, separate your feet hip distance apart, and then inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold in. Inhale, root to rise, Urdhva Hastasana, upward salute. And exhale, return to Samasthiti, hands alongside your hips. Great. We're going to do that 2 more times, this time adding the breath. So inhale, your arms reach out and up, your breath goes down. As you exhale, you fold forward, the breath comes up. Inhale, halfway lift, the breath goes down. Exhale, the breath comes up, plant your palms and step back, plank pose. Inhale, 3 breath cycles here, the breath goes down. Exhale, the breath comes up. Inhale, widen the collarbones, the ribs, the low belly, low back. Exhale, let the breath come up. Last time, inhale, drawing the breath down the spine. Exhale, pulling it up the spine. Inhale, shift your weight forward. As you exhale, lower through Chaturanga Dandasana all the way to the floor. As you inhale, extend the tops of the feet to the floor. Inhale, pull your heart forward and through. Exhale, stay here, draw the breath up the spine. Inhale, breathe from the crown all the way down to the tailbone. Exhale from the pelvis all the way up to the face. Last time, inhale, draw the breath down the body. Exhale, draw the breath up the body, lower the spine down. Inhale through hands and knees, tabletop position. Exhale, child's pose, Balasana, 3 breaths here. Again, as you inhale, breathe into the collarbones, the ribs, the low belly, the low back. As you exhale, exhale from the belly, the ribs, and the chest. Again, inhale, drawing the breath down the spine towards the pelvis. Exhaling, drawing the breath up the spine towards the crown. Last one, inhale, drawing the breath down. And exhaling, letting the breath return to the crown. Inhale to hands and knees. And exhale back to downward facing dog. As you breathe in, draw the breath in from the crown of the head, through the ribs, through the waist, through the pelvis. And then exhale from the belly, through the ribs, through the chest. 2 more just like that. Inhaling from the crown, all the way down the spine. And then exhaling from the pelvis, all the way up to the crown. Last one on your own. Just really tracing the movement of your breath. And exhaling, pulling it back up. Inhale, raise to the balls of your feet. As you exhale, bend your knees and walk your feet towards your hands. Once you get to the top of your space, inhale, pull your heart forward and through, draw the breath down. Exhale, draw the breath up, fold into your thighs. Inhale, root to rise, Urdhva Hastasana, upward salute, breath goes down. Exhale, hands lower to Samasthiti, breath goes up. Last time. Inhale, circle sweep the arms, breath goes down. Exhale, fold forward at your hips, breath goes up. Inhale, heart goes forward and through, breath goes down. Exhale, breath comes up, plant your hands, step back, plank pose. Inhale, 3 breath cycles, drawing the breath down as you breathe in, and then exhaling, pulling the breath up as you breathe out. Inhale, travel your awareness down your spine. Exhale, drawing the pelvis or the awareness up the spine. Last one, inhale here and exhale here. Inhale, shift your weight forward, and then as you exhale, lower through chaturanga all the way to the floor. Inhale, pull the heart forward and through as the breath goes down. Exhale, stay here as the breath comes up. Inhale, draw the shoulder blades on the back, hold, draw the breath down. Exhale, the breath comes up, the shoulder blades squeeze. Last one. Inhale, draw the breath down, press the toes down. Exhale, draw the breath up. Inhale here, find a little bit more length. And exhale, lower your spine down. This time, inhale to hands and knees. And exhale to downward facing dog. 3 breaths. Notice the movement of the breath. So you inhaling, drawing it from the crown to the pelvis, and then exhaling from the pelvis to the crown. 2 more on your own, just really noticing how there's a little bit of movement starting to happen internally. On your next in-breath, raise to the balls of your feet. And then exhale, bend your knees, walk your feet to your hands. Once you get to the top of your space, feet hip distance apart, inhale, pull the heart forward, draw the breath down. And then exhale, draw the breath down, draw the breath up, fold the spine down. Inhale, stand up, draw the breath down, reach the arms up. And exhale, draw the arms down, draw the breath up. Close your eyes and notice the breath here. So again, the inhale draws the breath down the spine. The exhale draws the breath up the spine. Inhale, draw the breath down. And exhale, let it come back up. Last one, big breath in, drawing the breath down, feeling the diaphragm descend. And then exhale, letting it float up. All right, let's go ahead and open our eyes. Take one of your blocks and put it to the top of your space. And take your other block and put it to the back of your space. And you'll put both of the blocks on their highest setting. And then we'll turn to face this long edge of our mat with our blocks behind us. And you'll separate your feet about 3 feet, maybe 4 feet apart. Fantastic. Okay. From here, we're going to take our right foot and turn our right toes to face the short edge of the mat. You might spin your left heel out just a smidge. Now hug your feet together so you feel that happening in your inner thighs and your pelvis, and then we'll go ahead and reach our arms out to the side. Fantastic. So we're going to do a few of these. As you inhale, I want you to reach so far forward through your right hand that you shift your hips back to the left. You lower your right hand to the floor, block, or shin, and your left arm comes up for triangle. And then as you exhale, you come all the way back up to that starting position. And we've got 3 of these. So inhale, reach forward, out, and down. And then exhale, return back to that vertical position. 2 more on your own. Inhale, reach forward, out, and down. And exhale, come all the way back up. This next one, we're going to stay. So you inhale, reach forward, out, and down. Lower your right hand to a block, a shin, or a floor. Take a moment to really press down into both feet. Spin your belly to the left and maybe up towards the sky. And as you inhale, reach your top arm, your left arm alongside your ear. And then as you exhale, reach the left arm back up and spin your belly a little bit more to the left. You've got 3 of these. Inhale, the arm extends alongside your ears. Exhale, left arm comes back to the sky, belly spins to the sky. Yep. 2 more. Paying attention to how the breath is working. Great. Last one. This time, as you exhale, you'll pause here. You'll inhale, make your bottom hand, that's your right hand, a little lighter. As you exhale, return back up to vertical. Lower both hands to your thighs. Turn both feet parallel to the short edges of your mat. And again, inhale, draw the breath down the spine. And exhale, pull the breath up. 2 more just like that. Inhale, the breath goes down. And exhale, the breath comes up. Last one, the breath travels down. And then the breath travels up. Keeping your hands on your legs, inhale, heart reaches up. As you exhale, you'll start to slide your hands down towards your feet. Your chest will come forward towards the floor. You might then lower your hands to the floor underneath your shoulders. You might walk them forward and away from your feet. You might keep them on your ankle, or you might walk them back between your legs. But you've got 3 breath cycles here. And again, you're paying attention. As you breathe in, the breath travels down towards your bum. And as you breathe out, the breath travels back towards the crown. And you just notice what that feels like. It should have what's called a langana or a quieting effect. And we'll see how that's going. All right. As we're ready, let's go ahead and inhale, halfway lift. And then as you exhale, bend your knees slightly. Draw one hand to one hip, the other hand to the other hip, and come all the way up to stand. Fantastic. Turn your left toes to face the back of your mat, short edge. Spin your right heel out just a smidge. Go ahead and open both arms out and press down to both feet, suck both feet in. And just as we did before, you'll inhale, reach forward through your left hand, shift your hips to the back, lower your left hand to block, shin, or floor. And then exhale, push through the feet, come back up to stand. You've got 4 of these. So inhale, reaching forward, lowering the left hand down, the right arm clocks up. And then exhale, squeezing the legs, coming back up. 2 more. My hypermobile people, as we're doing this, keep a bit of awareness into your front knee. Okay. And this one should be our last one. So we'll pause here. Lower your left hand to block, shin or floor. Rotate your belly to the right and up towards the sky a little bit. And then inhale, sweep your right arm alongside your ears. Exhale, the right arm comes up, the belly spins towards the sky. And we've got 3 more just like that. Inhaling, finding length on your right side body as the arm reaches alongside the ear. Exhale, rotating the belly and coming back. 2 more. Arm comes alongside the ear. And then arm comes back up. And last one. Arm comes alongside the ear. And it comes back up. Fantastic. Take a breath here. Become lighter on your bottom hand. And then exhale, come all the way back up to vertical. Turn both feet parallel to the short edges of your mat. Lower both arms down. Take a moment to soften the gaze or close the eyes. And again, pay attention. Can you feel the breath traveling down the spine as you breathe in? And then feel the breath traveling up the spine as you breathe out. It's one of those things that we both imagine, but it's also one of those things that we can actually sense and feel the more we set the intention to experience it. All right, let's move on. Open your eyes if the gaze are closed, and then extend both arms out to the right and to the left in a giant T shape. Bend just your right knee. Inhale, reach out through the arms. And then as you exhale, bring your left hand in front of your right foot. And you're going to pause there and you're going to twist. So your right knee is bent, your left leg is straight, your right arm is up, and you're rotating towards the right. And you just pause and you breathe. On your next in-breath, we'll come back up through center. And as we exhale, we'll do the other side. So bend your left knee. Take your right hand in front of your left foot. Reach up through your left hand. Keep your left knee bent, your right leg straight, and rotate your ribs all the way towards your left. And then inhale and come back up. You're going to do that 2 more times each side. So bend your right knee. Bring the left hand in front of your right foot. Keep your right knee bent, your left leg straight. Maybe this time draw your outer left hip back as you rotate your ribs towards the right. Next inhalation, come back up through center. And then other side, exhale, bend the left knee, right hand in front of your left foot. Keep the left knee bent, the left arm up, the right leg straight as you rotate your ribs to the left. Inhale back through center. Last set. Exhale, bend your right knee. Bring your left hand in front of your right knee. Again, keep the right knee bent, the left leg straight, the spine long. Now this time your top arm, so that's your right arm, see if you can reach it alongside your ears like we did in that triangle pose. And just take a moment to breathe here in this very awkward shape, finding length from your right armpit through your right hip. Next in-breath, the right arm comes back up to vertical, and then come all the way back to center. Great, other side. Bend your left knee. Right hand comes in front of your left toes. Again, bend the left knee. Draw the right leg straight. Reach up through your left arm. Rotate your ribs to the left. And then maybe extend your left arm alongside your ears like we did in triangle. And you just take a breath, rotating the rib cage to the left. Next inhale, left arm comes up. And then gently unwind, come back through center. Lower your arms, soften the gaze, or close the eyes. And again, just notice the breath. Inhale, the breath goes down, and exhale, the breath comes up. Last time, inhale, breath goes down, and exhale, breath comes up. Fantastic. Go ahead and open the eyes. Wiggle walk your feet together. And then go ahead and step to the top of your space. Great. Once you're at the top of your space in Tadasana, go ahead and inhale, circle, sweep your arms up and overhead. Exhale, fold forward at your hips. Uttanasana, forward fold. Take that block that's there and plant it between your shin bones on the first or second setting. Inhale, pull your heart and sternum forward and through. And then exhale, fold in. Bend your knees pretty deeply. Sweep your arms forward and up. Utkatasana, chair pose. Now, we're going to be here for 9 breaths, and I want you to inhale, draw the breath down the spine. Exhale, draw the breath up. Inhale, draw the breath down. Exhale, squeeze the block, draw the breath up. So you're starting to find a little bit of your Uddiyana Bandha naturally just by being in this pose. Exhaling, squeezing the block, lifting the breath up. You've got about 6 more breath cycles. See if you can bend your knees a little bit more. There we go. Fantastic. Every inhale draws the breath down. Every exhale draws the breath up. 3 more breath cycles. Inhaling, drawing the breath down. Exhaling, drawing the breath up. Sit a little lower for these last 2. There we go. Inhale, draw the breath down. Exhale, drawing the breath up. Last one. Inhale, draw the breath down. And exhale, draw the breath up. Inhale, stand up, reach up, look up. Exhale, fold forward at the hips. Uttanasana, forward fold. Nice work. Inhale, remove your block. Exhale, plant your palms, step back, plank pose. 3 breaths. And then again, inhaling, drawing the breath down the spine. Exhaling, drawing the breath up the spine. Seeing if you can keep your head in alignment with, there we go, with your spine. Last one here. Inhale, draw the breath down. And draw the breath up. Next in-breath, shift your weight forward. As you exhale, lower all the way down to the floor. Cool. So this is going to be awkward. We'll see if we can do this. Some of you, see if you can just grab that block that's probably still near your feet and put it between your shin bones. Some of you might be like, yeah, that's too far, and you might just put the block between your upper inner thighs. You choose what works for you. And if you have it near your shin bones, see if it can remain wide so that it keeps your legs hip distance apart. If it's near your upper thighs, you're naturally just going to put it on its narrowest setting. Awesome sauce. Okay, from there, let's all bring our hands to our low back and interlace our fingers at the webbing. Okay, start to hug your block. Start to push your toenails down, root your pelvis down. Then draw your shoulders up to your ears, your shoulder blades onto your back. Keep a slight bend in your elbows, and then start to reach your hands back to lift your chest up. And we've got 3 breath cycles here. So slight bend stays in the elbows. We hug. Yeah, it just draws the shoulder blades more on the back, and your heart can lift more when your elbows are bent. And then you're pressing into that block. And so again, we're just noticing what this feels like to be in this locust pose, feeling a stretch across the chest. At the end of your next exhalation, you'll lower down, releasing your right ear to the mat. And again, just notice what the floor feels like as it's pressing into you as you breathe in, and accepting your weight as you breathe out. Okay. We're going to do that 2 more times because everything we've been doing in 3s. So go ahead and interlace your hands, awkward opposite interlace. Press, squeeze into your block. Press the tops of your feet down, root down through your pelvis. Draw the shoulders up to the ears, the shoulder blades onto your back, and then inhale, reach your arms back to reach your head up. Now this time, again, you're going to return to that breath. So you inhale, you draw the breath down your spine. You exhale, you draw it up. You might notice that the more you can actually hug that block as you exhale, you might feel more of your Uddiyana Bandha and maybe even Mula Bandha lifting. And you just notice and you pay attention. And you've got 1 to 2 more breath cycles here. At the end of your next exhalation, you will lower down, this time the opposite cheek. So your left cheek comes to the mat. And you just pause and you breathe. Inhale, drawing the breath down to the pelvis. And exhaling, pulling it back up. Nice job. Last breath here. Okay, third time's the charm. Bring your forehead back to the mat. Interlace your hands, or you might just float the arms alongside your hips, your choice. You'll squeeze into your block. You'll press down into your toes. You'll draw your shoulder blades onto your back. You'll lift your ears in line with your shoulders. You'll lift your chest. Now this time, as you hug the shoulder blades onto the back, you might squeeze the block so much that you reach your toes so far back that you float your toes up. And you've got 3 breath cycles. And so those of you that are holding on to opposite hand, you hold on. Those that arms are not, your fingers are reaching back, the shoulders are drawing together on the back, and you're seeing if you can lift your chest a little higher. And again, you inhale, you draw the awareness down the spine, and then you exhale, you allow the awareness to reverse its path. You just notice. The end of your next exhale, bring your hands in front of you for heads up, 7 up, and just take a moment to rest and a moment to breathe. Resting your forehead on your hands if possible, if that feels okay to you. Great. Draw your hands alongside your ribs. Press yourself up to hands and knees. Okay, as we come to sit, most of us are probably going to want to sit on our blanket. So you'll probably start with your blanket like so, and then you might fold it in half like so, and then fold it in half. And I should say fold it in half long ways. That would be more clear of an instruction. And then you'll put your butt on your blanket. And our blocks, we want to have somewhere to the right and to the left of us. And at this point, we are starting to go to some more introspective poses. So if you're getting colds, you can, well, not right now, but a little bit, we'll be more wrapping up our bodies. Okay, so the first thing that we'll do is bend our right knee, plant our right foot on the floor, cross your right foot outside of your left leg. And then we're gonna hug our right leg towards our chest as best as we can. Our right hand can come to a block or come to the floor behind us to the right. Now, what I want you to pay attention to today is flex through your left foot a lot. That's the long leg. And I want you to sit as tall as you can through the spine. And then everyone close your eyes. See if you can draw your chin back so it's in line with your sternum. And at the same time, push your sternum forward so it feels like you're pushing your chest out. So we're trying to find that verticality in your spine. Now push your right knee or outer leg into your left arm, pull your left arm into your right leg. And then we've got about 5 breath cycles here. So again, you're going to inhale, draw the breath down your spine, and then exhale, draw the breath up the spine, and notice how that lets you rotate more towards your right. So inhale, the breath comes in the spine, down the spine, and exhale, it goes up the spine and out. And you've got 3 more on your own, really just feeling the breath travel up and down the spine. Noticing if your sternum can come forward and your chin can come back so that you've got that verticality in the vertebra. And then on our last exhale, see if you can get a little bit more of a twist to the right. As you inhale, gently unwind, come back through center, extend both legs long in front of you, Dandasana, staff pose, and just take a moment to pause here. Some of you will stay right here. Some of you will hinge forward at your hips and reach your hands towards your shins or your feet. And see if you do that, if you can keep your spine as long as possible. So your sacrum is coming forward, your sternum is coming forward, and your crown is still in line with your tailbone. And then again, you just breathe, inhaling, drawing the breath down, and exhaling, pulling the breath up. Noticing what this feels like in this version of Mahamudra, aka Paschimottanasana. Very gently, you're going to release your hands, walk your hands back up, draw your spine back to vertical, and we'll try the other side. So let's go ahead and bend our left knee, cross your left foot outside of your right leg, flex through your right heel a lot as you hug your left knee close to your chest with your right arm. Left hand comes to block or floor behind you to the left. And then again, inhale, lift up super tall through the spine, and exhale, we'll rotate towards the left. And then again, soften your gaze or close the eyes. It's kind of this weird cue, but like if you can draw your sternum in line with your chin in line with your sternum, yet at the same time, press your sternum forward. Let your heart remain open and let your head just take a back seat to your heart. And you just notice what's happening here. So that's what's happening with the physical body. And then see if we can tap into what's happening in the subtle body. So can you feel the energy, your awareness traveling down your spine as you breathe in? And can you sense it traveling up the spine as you breathe out? You might also feel your outer left hip. I really like this stretch. It's like a fun stretch on my outer butt, while I'm also feeling this internal ringing of the organs and this movement of the breath. And so you're just paying attention to it all. Last 2 breath cycles here. On your next in-breath, gently unwind, come back through center, extend both legs long, Dandasana. Again, reaching forward towards our feet, maybe towards our shins, keeping your spine as long as it can be. Cool. And this time will be a little shorter here, so we'll just start to come out. You're going to cross your left ankle over your right ankle. Bend both of your knees in Sukhasana. And then we're going to bring both of our blocks in front of us. Now, I would encourage you to put one block on its lowest setting and then stack the other block right on top. This creates a little bit more of a stable base than other configurations we might have. And then remove any flesh from underneath your sit bones. And that same Paschimottanasana shape that we took where we're just trying to lever the body forward, you're going to start to walk your hands forward and lever your body forward. So the spine stays as straight as it can, as long as it can. And you might need to adjust where your blocks are in relationship for you so that the crown of your head stays in line with your tailbone, your tuchus. And you might notice that you have to adjust the height of your blocks or even the location of your blocks. So you have a long, super duper spine, and then you have a nice support of the block. And you might notice that maybe you get there and you're like, yeah, I can lower these blocks. And if you do, great. You might notice that, hey, I can lower it again. And if so, great. You might notice, hey, I need more blocks. And if that's the case, that's awesome too. Let's come out of it. But you're going to take a few breaths here. And I want you to pay attention to what you're sensing in the body. So we start to tap into the subtle body by first becoming aware. So like most of us, I think, are pretty aware of like various sensations in our hips right now. We might feel them in our low back. Can you then tap into what you're feeling in terms of the breath? Where does it feel like it's most active in the body? And then we start to tap in a little bit more subtly and start to feel the energetic channels just below the breath. Got 2 more breath cycles here, and you just notice what you notice. At the end of this next exhalation, you're going to slowly walk your hands back and slowly come out of the shape. When you do, I want you to pause, sitting as tall and as regally as you can for just a moment and noticing your spine. How does your back feel? How does the whole length of your vertebra feel in this moment? Yeah. Once you've got that mental imprint, you'll slowly open your eyes and you'll need to switch whichever leg is in front, however you can do that. So you might move the blocks, you might just shift your butt back and recross your legs the other way. And then again, I know it sounds silly, but we're going to start with that same little pyramid shape because you might notice that even if you removed all the blocks on the other side, our sides aren't entirely symmetrical. So again, remove any of the flesh from underneath your sit bones, sit as tall as you can, and it feels like our heart is coming forward as we start to crawl our hands forward and we start to hinge from our pelvis. And we find that, oh yeah, the right side and the left side definitely are their own little animals. And you might notice that maybe this side you don't go as deep, or maybe this side you go deeper. In either case, it's totally okay. I just want you to notice what you're feeling in the body. And then I want you to notice what you're feeling, I guess, deeper within the body, like a little bit more subtly. And you've got about 5 breaths on this side. Notice if the pressure on the forehead on the blocks is light. Notice if there's still that inhaling, drawing the awareness down the spine, and exhaling, drawing the awareness up. Um, Yoga Rupa calls this a kriya. It's an energizing technique, which is what we've overlaid onto our asana today, where we've been paying very much or a lot of attention to the subtle body, the awareness of the energy traveling in our body. And as you're here for these last 2 breaths, I want you to just notice something that you'd never noticed before, whether it's like, oh, that hip feels different today, or I feel calmer here, or any of those things are totally fine. When you're ready, you're going to start to slowly walk your hands back towards your hips. You'll take a moment to just pause with your spine vertical. And again, the collarbones are broad, the shoulder blades slide down the back, the heart is open. Just notice what you notice. Yeah. And then we'll softly open the eyes. Go ahead and remove your blocks and you'll turn around and lie down on your backs. Now at this point we are winding down. So if you tend to get cold in Shavasana, this would be a great time to cover your bodies because we are going to be supine for the rest of it. Nice job. So once you find yourself on your back, I want you to find whatever supine back position you want. So if that's straight up Shavasana, fantastic. If you want to take constructive rest, take that. But I want you to feel the whole length of your spine on the floor. For me, it feels a little easier to do that with my knees bent, but that might just be a me thing. And so I just want you to notice what it feels like to feel the whole weight of your vertebral column. And then there's the weight of your shushumna nadi, which is, it, I guess, mirrors your vertebral column on an energetic level. And you're just feeling that. Okay. From here, let's draw our knees into our chest and give ourselves a hug. Then slide your hands through the inside edges of your thighs and grab the outer edges of your feet and take Ananda Balasana Happy Baby. And we want to pay attention here to really seeing if we can slow down our breath even more. And by that, I mean slow down, elongate your exhalation in particular. So you might move or you might just be really still. But again, you inhale, the awareness travels down your spine. And you exhale, and the awareness travels up, finding connection to that apana. So that's the releasing breath, which, happens quite easily in this pose. You might feel more of that downward movement. And then the udana, which is the upward movement. Okay. Now from here, let's draw the soles of our feet to touch. Open your feet wide like a book and hold on to the outside edges of your feet. And you'll just take a few breath cycles here in this weird Supta Baddha Konasana position, soles of the feet pressing together, knees widening away. Just feeling what that feels like. Fantastic. And then very gently release your feet. Draw one foot to the floor, draw the other foot to the floor. And at this point, we're going to make our way towards Shavasana. So some of you will just go ahead and extend your legs long. Some of you might want to take that blanket and cover your bodies. Some of you might want to take that blanket and use it as a support along the spine. But you choose what option works best for you. And then once we find ourselves in our final resting position, today I'm going to really stress the importance of making sure that your right hip and your left hip are equally weighted. So if you need to fidget, make sure that's happening. You might then notice that your right foot and your left foot have different degrees of external rotation, and that's okay. Bring your awareness to your arms, and we'll try to have our arms off of our physical body for today if that's comfortable for you. And I want you to slide them out just a little bit until you start to feel your shoulder blades widen on the back. And if you need to, you might press into your head to lift your rib cage up to slide the shoulder blades down and reach out through the fingers. And then make sure the weight is even from the right to the left shoulder blade. And then you might want to lift your head up a little bit, tuck your chin to your chest, and then put your head back down just so you've got a long spine front, or long neck front and back. And then again, we're going to bring our awareness back to that Kriya that we've been working on the whole practice. So you inhale, you draw your awareness from the crown of your head all the way down your spine. And as you exhale, you allow the awareness to travel back up the spine. You inhale, the awareness goes down. And you exhale, and the awareness comes up. And you'll continue like this on your own for the next few moments. And if at any point in time you notice that your mind has wandered, no worries. You just simply observe that and then gently guide yourself back to this practice of breathing up and down the spine. I'll leave you here with you for a few moments, and I'll let you know when it's time to come out. If you're still working with the Kriya, gently let it go. Return your awareness to your breath. As you come back to your breath, just take a moment to check in. If there's on any part of you longing to linger here, by all means, please stay here. When you're ready, you'll start to invite small, gentle movement into your physical body. And then when you feel ready, you'll start to make your way to one of your sides. When you find yourself on your side, pause there for a few breaths. And then gradually roll your chest more towards the floor, press into your top hand, and draw yourself to a tall and vertical seat. I would encourage you to elevate your bum on a block or a blanket when you're vertical. And then with the gaze remaining soft or the eyes closed, once again, establish your seat. So if you need to remove flesh, you remove flesh. If you need to roll the shoulders, you roll the shoulders. So in the Para Yoga tradition, that Kriya that we've been working with, you usually do it while also chanting Om. So we're going to end our practice with 3 chants of Om. So again, you inhale, the awareness goes down. When you exhale, that's where the O sound lives. When you're between like your belly button through the bottom of your throat, that's the oo sound. And then from your neck higher is the sound. So we'll just do 3 of those. You can feel free to join in or maybe just breathe. Hands can remain at or on your thighs or bringing them to heart center, whatever feels best for you. So we'll go ahead and take an inhale to prepare and exhale all the breath out. Inhale for Om, join if you'd like. Om. Om. Take a moment. Notice the sensations. Notice the internal vibrations. Go ahead and bring your hands to heart center if they're not there. Softly lower your chin towards your fingers. And just notice how you feel. We spend time with our practice for many reasons, but I think the biggest reason is for us to create space so whatever healing we need is made more possible. So whatever action we need to take is made more possible so that we can show up as the best, most authentic, joyous, courageous versions of ourselves. And so as you're here for these last few breaths, I invite you to just notice what you notice right now. That part of you that's always here, always available, if only we create the space to see, to feel, to sense it. Go ahead and bring your hands to your third eye. May our thoughts be clear. Bring your hands to your lips. May our words be kind. And then draw your hands to your heart center. May our hearts be open. That light, that awareness, that breath within me honors and salutes the light, the awareness, the breath within each of you. Namaste.